Before we begin today's episode, do yourself a favor. Like, share, comment, and subscribe to this platform, as well as hit the bell button to get notification for future episode releases. Oh yeah, and thank you to all 7 of you. Hello, hi, and hey. My name is Reed Mason, and you're now in my house with our favorite intruder, Delight on Decks. So what we do over here is we bring books, journals, articles, newspapers, go over them, expressions, nuances, and such. And without further ado,
A dozen remote control gun barrels emerged from behind the number plate of the car. Bullets flew towards where KREJCIR stood, then the car exploded into flames. At first, KREJCIR thought that someone had let off fireworks before realizing that he was in fact the target of an attack. A movie screenwriter couldn't have produced a better scripted action scene. It was too fantastic to be true. And yet, when police, emergency services, and journalists arrived at the scene, the fantasy was reality. There, for everyone to see, stood the burnt out car, the gun barrels, which had been hidden behind the number plate, still smoking hot, and the bullet holes in the wall in KREJCIR's car.
yo. Are you sure that wasn't a movie? You just heard the sexy voice, the lovely voice of Lethabo. Lethabo, please introduce yourself. You are?
I'm Lethabo, aka Mr. Strictly Mo Africa. I guess I'm a reader,
Thank
if
you.
I may put it like that.
Yeah, that's dope. So how I know Lethabo? I don't know Lethabo. I've just heard you on podcasts, and an acquaintance of ours gave you a nickname because of your your appearances on multiple podcasts. I won't use that now. I'll keep that for the end. But I do have the sense in the field because we got to talk to each other now as you got in. We have the same likes, and also you're quite attractive. So
I'll take that as a compliment.
Aware. So
No, thanks.
the what you just read, what's the title of the book?
KREJCIR. It's based on the life of Radovan KREJCIR from the Czech Republic, who came into South Africa and then done a movie. Like did a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he really shook things up.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the author's name?
Angelique Serrao.
Serrao.
Yes.
I think I've heard that name before. And okay, I mean, if we're allowed to start, it's a true crime book, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Straight off the bat, I mean, for you, outside of what you just read for us, what makes a good true crime book? What makes a good crime book?
When you are able to, I think reading is some sort of the theater of the mind. You need to be able to get it. It must not just be words on paper.
Yeah.
You must be able to visualize everything. The reason I chose that extraction is because it was like a movie. I remember watching it on the news, and you see this type of things on movies, on action movies.
Yeah.
But now this was happening right in our backyard. I mean, in Bedford View.
Bedford View, yeah.
Yeah. So you can imagine if you had a chance of actually being there when it was happening. So reading it and getting it from the book, I could picture it. It took me back when I saw it on the news.
Oh.
So I got that feel of
Yeah.
how the South Africa underworld is. I got how big it is.
Yeah.
It's not just petty crime. It's
Nah.
it's something beyond. It's mind blowing.
When you came in, we got to talk about the book a little bit, and I seemed like I missed it completely. I didn't catch the news. I know who KREJCIR is because, I mean, he's popular, he's in jail, and he knows Pistorius. But the way you and Delight went on about it, I'm like, yes, this really has to be a good book. And you said just now, it's like a movie. Do you think if you were in that, would you have responded the same way? Would you have told the story the same way if something now happened to you in the car, someone tried shooting you, what? Do you think you would have calmly explained it to us, or would you have come with this the way you said it earlier on? It's theater of the mind. Would you have come to us like, yo guys, you won't believe, I just got stopped, this nigga pulled out a gun, I did a backflip, I rolled. Like, would you explain it that way if it happened to you?
Yeah, I think when you experience something,
Yeah.
you get to tell the story firsthand.
Okay.
Yeah, because now remember that Angelique is a journalist, so
Sure.
she packaged it very well.
Oh, okay.
However, I think if I'll tell the story, if I saw it, if I
Mm.
was there in Bedford View on
Mm.
that day,
Yeah.
it would my eyes would sparkle up when I tell you this,
Serious.
because now I would have seen it firsthand. I think it's for example, when you hear about an accident that happened on the highway,
Yeah.
it's different to when you see the accident.
True
So when
story.
you narrate the story,
Yeah.
you can actually tell someone that 1, 2, 3 happened, and when this happened, this happened.
Yeah.
But now when you hear about it, all you have is bits and pieces in the head, and now
Surface level kind of.
yeah, surface level type of things,
Yeah.
and now even your curiosity
Oh.
as the person,
Yeah.
as the receiver of the information is, it has that big question mark.
I like the way you express yourself. So I'm curious now. How would you have the piece that you read? How would you have said it if it was just you? Like, yo, Lethabo, come explain that part, but in the way you would have. Would it be different from the way it was delivered in the book?
And now I think I was gonna take it more the township way.
I'm curious. I
I
want to
was
hear
gonna
it.
be dramatic
I
and
want to
say
hear just a little piece, please.
boom, boom, bam, guns everywhere.
Yeah.
Things were bad.
Yeah, yeah.
Serious, we were hiding. Like I
Yeah.
was gonna take it. I was just gonna add spice. You know how it is.
Yeah, yeah,
Like I
I
was
do.
just gonna like, whoo, it was gonna be something else. See, I was gonna tell them guys, guns, fire, cars
Yeah.
bombing. Ooh, I was running. Like I was just gonna make sure that I become the best storyteller.
Bruh, because I'm thinking no, because when you read that piece, I'm like, no, it wasn't like that. I'm sure Lethabo has it different in his head right now.
Yeah,
You're reading the piece, but I'm sure in your head,
I think the piece is more subtle because
okay.
now it's being narrated by someone.
Yeah, yeah,
But
for sure.
for someone who, like for me, if I was there, it's not something that you see every day.
Nah?
So now I think it would, like I said, to mention the word curiosity. I
Yeah.
think I would be curious, and I mean the reason I got the book is because I saw it on the news.
Oh.
I saw what happened with
Yeah.
with the attempted hit.
Yeah.
Then I was like, now this is, I mean, to invest in a car that can be remotely controlled and explode just for a hit for someone.
Somebody.
I mean, that means we're talking big figures here. We're talking big sharks, because I mean, you don't just get like a random hitman that you pay 200 rand and say go after. You invest in such. I mean, the technology was amazing.
I like that you bring that part up of remote controls, because I'm going through something right now where I'm watching a lot of military movies, and if you do it with if your mind is influenced while watching it, you get to see that we've got problems as human beings. We design all these nice technologies, but like to kill another person, though. Like, was it for what they did for KREJCIR? I hope he doesn't hear this.
Let's hope so.
Was it a good idea that this is the kind of way to deal with this kind of guy in the underworld? Because having to face him face to face is not going to be easy. He is one of the biggest known gangsters. There's people around him, people following him. Everyone wants a piece of him. So you don't want to be caught in that crossfire. And so they used the technology at that point. Do you think that it was worth it at that time? I mean, they didn't get him. He's still alive. Do you think it was a good thing to do?
Yeah, I think go big or go home. I think go big or go home. When you want something done, I always believe that if you are second, you are last. So meaning
Straight
that
talk.
Yeah,
Straight talk.
Meaning that if you want something done, you need to do it the proper way.
Yeah.
I think with KREJCIR, he really got out of that one.
Serious.
But the investment behind it was amazing. I mean, who does that? I mean, this is something we see in movies.
Yeah.
So because now he's such a big figure in that space, whoever really was behind the hit thought that it's worth the investment.
Yeah, for sure.
If I'm gonna go after someone like this, I need to make sure that, I mean, the car exploded after it shot those bullets. So even the evidence was part of was being destroyed as well when the car exploded. So even the tracing it back to the person is so they needed to make, because I mean, We don't know if he obviously you know your enemies.
Mm.
So imagine now he finds out that you were behind it after
Jesus.
pulling something like that.
Jesus.
I mean, that's if he didn't. I
Nah,
mean, we don't know.
we don't know.
Maybe the
Yeah.
person is no more. We don't know. But you need to make sure, and you need to make sure that if things don't go well, it doesn't really come back to you.
Did, did the book do justice in having to deal with the theater of the mind when you read the stories? Because there's what we know from the news, but having going through it, because you are a reader, having gone through the book, did you feel that this is well written to the point that if you have to come now and explain it from scratch, from top to bottom of the book, you'd also do justice because it was well written?
Yeah, honestly, I think she did justice. I
Yeah,
mean, it draws you. I mean, with
yeah.
every single chapter, the way the book was well, it was well thought.
Oh, okay.
So from the beginning of the book, with every single chapter that moves, you get to understand how things really maneuvered. You get to picture it. You
Straight
get to
up.
understand that, oh, okay, so now this was happening.
Mm.
So now the reason this is happening is because of this.
Yeah,
Then you actually need to go back a few chapters and
yeah.
realize that, oh, so now this guy was being shot because it you keep on going back. You
True
keep
story.
on it was amazing.
What's your favorite part?
Yo, uh, so many. I mean, one of my favorite part was when there was a warrant for his arrest.
Mm.
The power that guy had, they actually pounced on the wrong house when
Don't say that, bruh. This is a movie. You're
and
lying.
there was a big spectacle media there,
Yeah,
but they pounced on the wrong house.
and he's the one that led them to the wrong house.
I'm assuming so. I mean, if you
What
are
kind of
going
power
after
does
such
he
a
have?
profile guy, like
Yeah,
a big guy like this, I mean, you must have your information on lockdown. I
straight,
mean,
straight.
we can't be assuming that he lives in 443 whatever street.
Yeah,
You have to know your facts. I mean, you need to be following him. You need to say, guys, we are hitting this guy on Saturday. We're bringing everyone. We're bringing the Hawks. We're bringing
yeah,
the SAPS. We're bringing everyone. We're bringing journalists because this is such a high profile case.
damn.
So we want the world to see that
Yes,
the guy, we are doing a lot. Then you hit on the wrong house.
imagine.
So you understand the level of influence.
He's
And
got a lot then.
yeah, I mean, he's
Are you telling me he's more influential than Bin Laden? Because Bin Laden's situation took years until you know, quotations,
yeah.
until they found him. And when they found him, it was a quick job. They didn't miss this because everyone was involved: CIA, Interpol, all those kind of things. I mean, is KREJCIR bigger than Bin Laden? If they're getting the wrong house, no, guys.
Yeah, I think honestly, maybe different spaces
Yeah,
because they are both they're trading in different spaces and all. But I think in his industry, if I may put it like that,
yeah.
he's one of
He's huge.
yeah, he's huge. He's a big shot.
Is he
And
international as well, or is it
yeah,
just here where he's messing up our stuff?
nah, this one he has a history of
Serious?
being a very serious guy. Yeah, it's not just in
I'm
the
so
country.
scared. I am
Yeah,
so scared now
and you
because
get to honestly, personally, I think you get to respect someone like this.
okay,
Not condoning all of the other things,
yeah,
but appreciating the strategy, appreciating his way of thinking. How
actually,
yeah, because when you are able to reach a certain status, I
mm,
always say that there's two types of people who are very smart. The ones who do good with how smart they are, and the ones who do bad. I mean,
yeah,
if you go to prisons now,
yeah,
you will get the smartest people in the world.
straight up,
However, just that they decided to use their smartness
yeah,
on the others. I mean,
yes.
I was reading a book the other day about someone who hit a bank and they only traced it after a long time.
Hit a bank where?
Yeah, I
Here in
mean,
this country?
yeah, like a few years back, he's actually out now.
No ways.
Yeah,
How much did he steal?
I think 448 million or something.
No, you
Yeah.
can't. You know, in China, after a certain amount, you get hanged if you. Do, also, I mean, sorry for making this part of the question now. Um, do you think the judgment is fair based on the type of crimes that go on here? I don't condone death penalty, but your guys, 400 and something million, as opposed to me robbing a shop right, is not the same thing, bro. And if that guy is out, what?
Yeah, I mean, I
Nah, bro.
honestly, I think um, the law takes its course. I mean, he served
Yeah.
his time.
Yes.
He's out.
Yes.
So it is what it is. I
Nah.
mean, yeah. For me personally, I just think that, uh, and I think some of these things need to happen too, so that the system improves.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
It has to.
yeah, because obviously, if something like this happens, that means the person saw a loophole.
Straight talk.
Yeah, and honestly, the reality is, guys, temptation is everything.
Everything, bro.
Yeah, so if you can notice that here there's a loophole and there's an opportunity
Yeah.
to really thank myself.
Yeah.
Uh,
And you'll do it.
yeah, most would.
Most would, nah.
That's what I'm saying, that there's a lot of smart people.
Yeah.
So there's the smart ones who work for the corporate world, who are
Mm.
doing the things like this,
Mm.
and there's those ones who believe that I'm not gonna work hard, I'm gonna work smart. I'm gonna um, manipulate the system and enrich myself in whatever way.
Do they cover some of the good he does? Because sometimes some of these bad people do nice things. We can go to all the great stories. I really don't mean great in a nice way, but great stories like, you know, your is it El Capone? One of the one that they keep making a story about.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the big drug lord. Um, the good he did was to buy schools and put people through education and, you know, charity work and all of that kind of stuff, but the crimes they committed were atrocious. Does this guy have any of those stories where he did some good?
Honestly, not that I know
Are
about.
you serious, bro? He was just all bad.
Not that I know
Ah,
about.
bro, then this guy must be scary then.
Yeah, not that I don't know. Honestly, I
Really?
don't. Nothing is coming to mind now. I've never seen a picture of him at some orphanage in the south of Joburg or something. No, I haven't. So I don't know. Like,
Did you feel a sense of this guy is scary? If I were to meet him, I think I'll tremble when
yeah,
reading the book. Really?
no, definitely. I mean, even if you check the cover of the book,
Yeah, his
just
eyes are scary, bro.
yeah, his eyes tell something else. You get to
Serious?
understand that this is not someone that you just test waters with.
Nah.
No, you tread carefully here. So
Oh
I
God.
mean, I think even before reading the story, before profiling him, if I may put it like
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
if you just bump into him, there's people that they have a certain aura, they have a certain energy
yeah,
around them
yeah, yeah.
that you respect them whether you like it or
Straight
not.
talk, straight talk.
Yeah.
Is it something someone can learn without having to be as bad? To have that aura, to have that look, to have that energy. Although I don't want to be a terrifying person, but I need some sense of me to be dangerous. I'm a cute looking guy, so but sometimes I want to walk into a place and feel that this guy on his bad day, I'm sure can be
Yeah,
in real trouble.
honestly, I think your environment contributes
Oh,
in how you. I mean, if you're a softy, you're a softy.
straight talk.
Yeah, if
Yeah,
you're a softy, you're a softy. So you need to find. That's why they say leadership comes in different forms.
yeah.
That's why now you need to start looking into getting the respect, so that people oversee the softness. Yeah,
Oh,
so I think you get to find ways to strengthen your respect,
yeah,
how people approach you and how
yeah.
people react to you, because I mean, you get the best leaders in the world who are not mafias,
Yes,
but they are well respected.
true
These
story.
people, when they enter a room, they
Yeah,
don't have to introduce themselves, because
yeah.
they've created a pattern,
Like
or
Gaddafi used to do.
yeah, people like Gaddafi.
Gaddafi used to have that presence. I think you can even see it on the TV that this
Yeah,
guy has a presence.
because I
Yeah.
mean, even Robert Mugabe. I mean,
Mugabe also had that.
yeah,
Yeah, straight
Mugabe
talk.
had that as
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
because you get to, once you get people um synchronized in how you want them to perceive you. And if you have that thing in control, I think it's everything. I
No,
believe that it's everything.
that's good advice.
Yeah.
I mean, sticking with that good advice part, is there any good you took from the book? Something that definitely you can learn and apply and still be a good person.
Yeah, I mentioned strategy. I mean,
Mm,
that's how you one thing about the book is that you get to see how smart he was,
yeah.
how influential he was.
Was he educated? Did he go to
Yeah, I think
university?
I didn't really get much about his educational background.
Yeah.
However, I think he invested a lot in research and
Oh,
understanding systems, because
yes.
for you to such a to reach a certain level, you need to you can't be negligent. Number one,
Nah.
yeah, you need to be very strategic. You need to talk. You need to know who to talk to and when to talk to them. So that's another thing that I took from the book. Even
Mm.
his, I mean, this guy had like big guys next to him, like big politicians, high profile politicians.
Yeah, yeah.
So you get to take even networking, how the importance
Oh,
of networking.
yes.
So whether you are into crime or not, networking contributes with that's why they say your network is your net worth.
Wow.
Yeah, simply because
Wow.
who you are surrounded by,
Yeah.
they contribute a lot to where you are going.
I
So
need
I
to be
think with
surrounded
him
by
as
you.
well, the networking part, he nailed it very well. And
Okay.
how to nurture your network. I mean,
Oh,
part
okay.
of the book,
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
yeah, there's part of the book that explains how he made sure that his network is always healthy.
Oh.
Yeah,
It reminds me of the book I read, Gayton Mackenzie, The Hustler's Bible.
yeah, good book, that one.
Ah, thank you for saving me from saying something else. I, I I didn't rate it as high as some people would have liked, but I took the networking part of it. You know, the gentleman's agreement, how to actually present yourself, as you said earlier on perception. And you have to always work at it. You
Yeah,
know, it's not just as simple as I learned this lesson now and that's it. Even over some time, the development of that keeping network has changed. Do they cover that as well in the book?
yeah, because there are a lot of people in the book that start out with him
Oh,
in the book, and even at the last chapters, those guys are still there.
oh wow. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
and
nice.
these are very
Yeah,
influential people.
for sure.
So I mean, somebody who's entangled in, I wouldn't say a mess, but who's entangled in crime and all of that.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people would pull out, but to show that when you are executing, nurturing your network very well,
Mm.
even when people see that you've got heat on you, you've got so much drama around you, people still stick because of how you are able to nurture your network. People
Okay.
don't jump ship when they see that there's a war coming,
Yeah.
so they stick with you because of they know that um we break bread
It's
together.
a straight talk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've got your back, you've got my back.
Was it true crime? I consider the why do I forget this drug dealer's name though? The big one. They keep making moving movies of him, Narcos and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, okay.
You know who I'm
Yeah,
talking about.
I think I know.
The Colombian that was shot by the Americans. He was
Yeah,
actually shot by a Colombian. But yeah, you know when you watch these series, they make series and movies, your heart is sitting in your throat, and you think yes, they take loyalty so serious, keeping a network. So is loyalty also a big thing with KREJCIR? Is that still the honor amongst thieves everywhere you go in the world? That loyalty is what keeps us together in a network. Fine, you can nurture networking, but loyalty takes it all. Is it? Does it speak to that as well?
yeah. Another thing that I picked up actually is what you just mentioned. Now, loyalty is everything, especially if you read all those crime books. You read Glenna Gliotti, you read
I need to read that.
yeah, Lolly Jackson. So you get to understand one thing about it,
Yeah.
that loyalty is everything. And when loyalty is tested, um, people disappear. If loyalty is tested, sometimes people disappear. So they
Mm.
take it so serious because now, especially when we know that we are not doing We are on the wrong side of the law. I need to trust you.
Yes.
I mean, if we
100%.
go to court
Yeah.
and they separate us in different interrogations rooms,
Yeah.
I must not stutter and start thinking what you'll say. I must know that Joe has my back. Joe is
Straight.
not gonna,
Straight.
because we are, even if you go in and I'm out, my loyalty to you, your loyalty to me must not change. Yeah.
Yo.
Because I think they see it as there's a bigger space in it.
No.
So one thing that I've picked up as well on the books is that they don't want to sacrifice that. Yeah,
They don't sacrifice loyalty.
they don't sacrifice loyalty.
Is it a attribute that we can still take on the good side?
Yeah, I
Loyalty
think
is
it's
still
what-
important even if you're not
It is.
honoring thief
Yeah,
law.
it
Okay.
is.
When did you read the book?
I read the book in 2019.
And you feel that the positives that you learned, you still carry right now?
Yeah, like networking, for instance.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
get
for
to-
sure.
Yeah, you get to understand that even loyalty.
Yeah.
You get to understand that, especially being in business myself, you get to learn a lot about loyalty, that not everyone is going to be loyal to you.
100%.
And
Yes.
even you need to also be very calculative who you are loyal to.
No?
Yeah, because it's like inheriting someone's enemies. You need to be very smart if you're going to take that route.
Yeah, I inherited a good podcast person from the Light Show. Thank you for being here. I know this question is gonna sound mundane, but why do you like crime books? Why do you like true crime books?
Oh wow, that's actually a soothing question. I actually relate to this type of books because it's close to home.
Okay.
Because I mean, born and bred in South Africa, so
Yeah.
all of this, the crime books that I prefer is things that I am able to relate with, because now the the political figures that appear in the books are
Yes.
the guys I know.
Yes.
The
These are guys we follow as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
the state-owned entities that
Yes.
are being milked sometimes. These are departments that I know.
Yeah.
These guys are having meetings in the same restaurants that
You take your first date on.
yeah, you take it. So you're
Imagine,
sitting
bro.
there whispering sweet nothings to someone, and these guys are busy discussing something so solid. They're
Solid,
discussing something that's gonna affect you in the long run.
Yeah.
So I think it also unpacks it very well, because now it shows you what's going on underworld. There's the South Africa underworld
Well, yes,
crime,
yes.
how politicians are linked to the mafias, how these ones are linked to the how cargo ships get to the harbor.
Yes.
And I mean, there's so many security factors that are so compromised, and you get to question yourself on how is this possible?
Bruh.
How is this possible? How did this happen? Under whose watch?
Bruh.
So it actually unlocks your curiosity in that
Yes.
space, because it's, I think I wouldn't relate well with a mafia story or a crime story that's happening in
Like
Mexico.
Pablo Escobar.
Pablo
That's
Escobar.
the name I'm looking for.
Pablo Escobar.
Yeah.
No, that's the name you were looking for. Because if it's in South Africa, I think I relate
Very much.
Yeah, very much with it.
What scares me, and I really mean scare, is that not only is it happening in the country, you know the name of the streets these things are happening on. You know, I'm not a big fan of true crime. I like my detective stuff. So when you found that someone else is also doing true crime, and there's this one that I was busy reading, it's called Bad Kids. The stories are so relatable that one of the stories in there, one of the kids that committed the crime went to the same high school as me.
Wow.
And the other one, they even said Pretoria North, Nina Park, Kezina.
How close is
How
that?
close is that? And then there's Menlyn, and then some crimes are happening in Mabopane, and you're on some, my God,
I'm here.
I'm here.
This is
In your time, you know?
I
it's,
mean,
it's not a history book. It's
not
genuine crime happening right now. And you brought a very nice part when you said it's happening under your nose. Do you ever get that sense that now that you're reading this, like, but why does it miss me, right? Like, I also want a piece of the cake. Because these people are moving money, man.
Yeah,
Serious
and
money.
lots of money.
Yeah.
I think there's a level of curiosity.
Yeah.
However, hey, you need to check it. Hey, there's guns involved and
Come
bullets.
on,
Hey,
bruh.
Buffett. Hey, we want the money. Hey, but when there's guns and bullets and
Yeah.
cars bombing,
Yeah.
you need to really be ready for that. You need to
Yes.
be ready for that. And I think it also boils down to character. I mean,
Mm.
if
Mm.
if your character is not really into that,
Yeah.
it's it might look appealing from the outside.
For sure.
But now when you are living a certain lifestyle like that, you need to always have one up on your gun. Like
You have to.
yeah, no safety, baba.
Yeah.
Anytime things happen, I mean,
You'll be shocked who actually carries guns,
yeah,
When you read these stories, you thought that your colleague was all nice and stuff. Ganti, this guy's packing.
yeah, they're always speaking.
And the rule they always say is you need to have one up.
Yeah, one up
Is
all the time.
one up and your ability, 5-point check is meant for those people. When you are driving, you have to look back, mirror,
Yeah.
back. And bro, that thing's scary. I think that's why I'm curious as to why it's never come my way, but nah,
Yeah, I think that bus can miss me as well.
I
Hey,
think it miss me because it gets brutal. And sometimes depending on how you stepped on the wrong person's toes, they can make an example of you.
yeah, and let's also not forget that you're not just the person who's compromised. You've got a family. You've got people behind you who don't know that side of you, that don't know that you are entangled in the dark side of things.
Yeah.
So now to make it more excruciating, they can go after those people and just to send a message to you. So I mean, now South Africa is trending. People are busy kidnapping kids, high profile kids,
High profile kids,
because
yeah.
now they are not going after the kids, they are going after
Family.
the family.
Yeah. It
And
was
so it's
you that we're after, so we're
yeah,
getting
it's you
at
that,
you.
and we're gonna hit you where it hurts. Yeah, so it's quite how do I even put it? It's mind boggling.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's mind boggling.
It's extra mind boggling that it really is happening under your nose. The day you drove past at Menlen, you were out with my genge having a good drink, you go home. By the time you get home, you see the news, there was a shooting there because KREJCIR's niggas were that side. And you just missed a beautiful bullet. And that's
Or the bullet missed you.
oh my goodness, my goodness. I think I should actually get back into true crime because the one I'm reading is quite soft. I mean, it's a drowning here, drowning there. Some of them are quite old, so you don't feel the story.
Yeah.
But this KREJCIR one is quite serious.
Nah, I really enjoyed this one. I think I read the book in I think 2 3 days
Yeah.
because I
Oh,
was
serious?
hooked. Yeah,
Wow.
I was so hooked, and it's a thick book. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
I was so hooked, and I kept on referring back, going
yeah,
back to chapter 2 because there's this name that I'm trying to figure out. Okay,
yeah.
why now? Why has this guy disappeared? And this is not fiction. This is
You
something.
know?
This is something that happened. I
Yeah.
mean, so it really got me. I was like, wow. I actually went beyond researching after I read the book
Yeah.
because I felt that the author gave me so much.
Yes.
But now I also need to, because everyone was linked on the book. There's
Yeah.
Lolly Jackson, there's Glenn Agliotti,
Yes.
so there's Brett Cable. So now everyone is linked, and
These are big names, bro.
these are big names, and you start thinking, like I remember there was a point. I think I was in a bus. I've just forgot. I think I was on a bus to Klerksdorp or something, and I
Yeah.
was reading the book. And as I was reading the book, like there was a point I closed it, I was like, yo. And people start staring at me because it was so appetizing.
Yeah, yeah.
It was so good. I ended up closing the book. I was like, what?
Serious.
As if I was watching a movie.
Gosh, I want to read this book now.
Yeah. So now people are busy staring at me, fun in the bus, thinking, okay, what's this one on about?
Yeah.
Because it was so juicy. It was amazing.
I have to ask this question now then. When you were, as you described now, when you were done, is there someone that you thought, I need this person to read this thing so bad? Yo, guys, because I don't want to be the only one with this information. And the juice that this thing has when you read it. Did you have someone you wanted to share it with?
Yeah, I actually did.
Yeah,
I actually shared it with a friend of mine, and he's been hooked ever since.
serious.
Yeah, he's been hooked ever since. Yeah,
No?
he read it, and he's always asking me about others. I'm like, yeah, Baba, I'm not an author. Yeah, but he's so, because
Yeah,
now it actually shows you what's just right under our nose.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's it's in your home, it's in your schools, it's in your malls.
it's so
It's
close.
so close.
It's so
That's what
close.
makes the true crime that you like is more from
Yeah,
here at
from
home.
here. Yeah.
Okay, this is perfect because it leads me to my next question. The the reading aspect of true crime and watching it on media like your Netflix. Is there a difference in terms of the feeling? Because it's not a true crime of Senzo Mayua's one, but I think they did a bad job with it. But
Yeah.
we
Join the
get,
club.
yeah, thank
Mm,
you.
mm.
But you get a lot of the American stuff because they do true crimes of like your Ted Bundy and there's a couple of other popular cases and stuff. And when you read it, it's for me, I don't get the same feel. Do you also have the same thing going on? That reading and watching true crime is not the same?
Yeah, no, it's not, because I think with watching it, um, with me personally, I switched to that. This was scripted in a way.
Ah, yes.
Yeah,
There's that feeling.
there's that feeling. So
Mm,
when I read it,
mm,
I think that's why I said that it feels as if it's the theater of the mind.
yeah.
I get to paint my picture. I get to extract whatever I'm reading, but now paint my own picture. So with
Mm,
visuals, watching it, um, I'm seeing it how they constructed it.
mm.
Especially because I also come from a film background.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so now I can see that, okay, like this was shot. This
Yeah.
was, so now reading it, you get to picture everything. You get
Yes.
to you get to point it out. Like it becomes a mind map in your brain.
Mm,
You point A to B, then B takes you to D, then you're
mm.
wondering what happened to C.
Yeah.
So now
True.
it moves with you. Yeah. So I think reading it is much
Emotionally, do you feel that as
emotionally,
well?
yeah, and you get you there's an emotional attachment to it
Okay, when
as
you're
well.
reading.
Yeah, when you're reading it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think this one would go good as a series or a show or something? I mean, you've read it, so you're not losing anything because your imagination has worked. The theater has done the work. Do you think this one would go nice as a movie or a series?
Yeah, I think it's probably in the pipeline. I think someone smart, some producers who's very smart out there is planning a movie around this guy.
Mm.
I mean, there's so much content, there's so much to take in.
Yes.
So if someone is already not on it, but
Mm.
I doubt, I think someone is probably on it. I mean, KREJCIR is a big figure.
Yes.
So I think the world needs to hear the story. I mean, there's already a book out. So,
Yes.
no lies, there's a
Yeah.
book out.
Yeah.
So, I'm thinking that a producer somewhere needs to get on it, and maybe a movie nyana, something.
Would you contribute to it?
Yeah, no, I
I
mean,
mean, if they call you, because I had this big conversation with my brothers the other time, and I was telling them we miss a lot of the aspect taken from an outsider. Sometimes you need an outsider to say, no, guys, maybe not this because it won't blow your mind. And you are a reader, so you understand the part that is important for blowing my mind. Would you contribute to it if they said, guys, we need volunteers to get involved in making this creature thing? This one.
volunteers. For the right figure, I think maybe I would. Hey, volunteering is something else.
Serious.
Yeah, I think maybe if the numbers are making sense,
Yeah.
yeah, and my safety is not compromised.
It just might be.
If my safety is not compromised, no, I mean, because I think there's a story to tell there.
Yes.
There's definitely a story to tell.
I comparing series and movies and books especially. The first time I came across Ted Bundy, I read it, and I I said Ted Bundy had a mental issue, and it was well written. And once they put it in a depiction, only one movie got it right because they tried to distance themselves from who or what his mental issue was. But if I made a Ted Bundy thing, I was going to make it a cartoon because he was overcome by something very, very dark. And there's no other way to show it than to make it digitized. do you have the same sense from the book with KREJCIR? Is there some part of it that has to, unfortunately, be depicted in such a way that is how do you say, not very bookish?
Okay, I think
Would it have to be a series? Would it be live people, or can you make a cartoon from this? Because sometimes that's the route some people take. Some cartoons are gruesome for adults to watch.
yeah.
And do you think this book would have done that justice if they make a cartoon from it?
Nah.
No,
I
it has to be
doubt.
real.
Yeah, this needs to be real. I think we need to see the blood. We need to see the guns. We need to see everything. I mean,
Yeah.
we need to. I think compared to Power, for instance.
Yeah, that's a good show.
Yeah, I think I'll take it there. You need to understand how real is it. I think
Yes.
if it's animated, it wouldn't do justice
It
to
wouldn't.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, it wouldn't do, because as much as we can give it that raw feel, but in an animated form, it wouldn't.
It takes away that these are real people.
Yeah, it would take away that.
No?
So for someone who doesn't know KREJCIR or his background,
Yeah.
or has never profiled him,
Yes.
they wouldn't think that this is actually based on a true story.
Okay.
So if it's real and if it's a movie and it's thrown in your face,
Yeah.
I think that for me would nail it.
Yeah, it would make us want to sit with popcorn and the family.
Yeah, and the family.
All the kids go home. They,
Yeah,
they must make it 18 violence.
Yeah, and a lot of other alphabets. It must not just be the V. It
Not
must
just be
all the others.
What was it that good? I mean, in terms of what it did to your mind for visualizing, because I swear it, when you were reading that, I'm like, nah, this guy's lying. That's not written in the book. It can't be that good. It sounded like a movie, I swear it.
Yeah, it was. I mean, honestly, I'd read it again.
Oh, okay.
I'd go through it again, because it's like you get shocked.
Nah?
Yeah, like
it's the shock.
It shocks you so hard to a point whereby you think to yourself that, what? Like, really?
Okay.
It's that good. I mean, I'd go over it again.
True crime books, it's not all the time that they do it justice in movies and series. Do you agree with that, or is this something?
No, I agree with it. I mean, I think it boils down to proper research.
Yes.
Yeah, sometimes you're looking at the numbers. Obviously, you're looking on what you can pull from the production.
Okay.
However, if the research is not well packaged,
yeah,
the story doesn't really do justice. It doesn't really give the viewer the attachment, the emotional attachment to it.
If there's no research done.
Yeah, I think the research is, especially when you are profiling, when it's based on a true story, whether crime or not.
Yes.
You need to find a way to make it solid. You need to find. I mean, we look at Sarafina. If you look at Sarafina, the production, there's still a lot of people who watch Sarafina today and still cry.
I still watch it, but I don't know about the crime part.
Yeah,
I won't admit that.
I think they packaged it in. I mean, you look at the Lion King.
Yeah,
when Mufasa dies,
that was well done.
Exit, because you get it.
Yeah,
you
quite through.
You get it.
Yeah.
So you need to. That's why, coming also from a film background, the pre-production is everything.
Everything, nah?
Before you start recording, before you start shooting, the pre-production must be well orchestrated. The location, the type of shots that are gonna take place, even with the actors.
Oh,
yeah,
because I was gonna ask that.
Yeah, I mean, you need to be getting people. I mean, for someone to play KREJCIR, for instance, we can't be getting somebody who's an intern still doing the arts. We need someone solid.
Solid, yeah.
We need someone who's gonna do justice the way the main character in Power, Ghost, he nails it.
Yeah.
Even Ghost's friend,
the what's his name again? I forgot.
Yeah,
the white guy.
The white guy.
His partner. Yes.
Yeah, because
I was gonna say Eminem.
Oh wow, you had to take it there.
He looks like
Eminem, I guess. Like, you need to get someone who's gonna make sure that character. I mean, if you meet Ghost today,
That's what you know.
That's what you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
quite
that's what
true.
you. I mean, if you remember Mtsiki from Generations,
Yes. Oh my goodness.
that's she
Yeah.
nailed that role so much that even today people still think Mtsiki.
Thinking, how could you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you need someone solid. You don't need someone who's gonna um still be sketchy. I mean,
Okay.
playing a role like playing Rodovan, for
Yeah.
instance, you need the body figure. I
Yes, it
mean,
has to be.
the eyes need to
Yeah.
tell the story. Like you need,
Quite true. Quite
yeah,
true. Like the guy that does the soprano. There's no one else that can do what he did.
exactly my point.
He's known just for that. I think even in real life, some people did not want to step his feet because they thought that he's really like this.
I mean, look at Mr. Bean.
Actually,
I mean, if you look at Mr. Bean, I mean, that guy has a character beyond Mr. Bean.
yes,
But when you meet him, you'll
Yes.
probably start laughing because
quite true.
you know Mr. Bean.
Yeah, or when he's having a serious conversation, you thinking, "I'm waiting for you to make the joke."
Yeah, I'm sitting here waiting.
yeah.
Can we get to the funny part?
Yes.
Because he has executed that role so well.
So well. Okay.
So well. I mean, you look at Jack Mabaz taking it back
To crime. Yeah.
crime in South Africa. You look at Jack
Yeah.
Mabaz because he built Suffocate from
Scandal. Rhythm,
Rhythm
City.
City.
Yeah.
He David Gennaro.
Gennaro, hey, rest his soul, man.
Yeah.
I know him as David Gennaro, actually.
That's so imagine if they gave him another role. It's
Yeah.
so tricky because you know this guy as David Gennaro.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they're gonna, for pre-production for this book, then it's gonna have to be quite serious.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, they mustn't take it lightly. They
they'd
have to do.
invest a whole lot of time, even with the actors, the setup. It would have to be in Joburg because
to.
Joburg comes up a lot
Yeah.
in the book. So
Okay.
we'd have to see Bedford View
Yes.
from another side.
Yes.
We'd have to see Sentin
No.
because Sentin also comes up.
And those are the places we all want to go to. You know, when
mean-
when we want to spend money, wear our nice clothes, we all think there,
We go to Sentin.
and that's where the crime is happening.
That's where the crime is. I mean, the Lamborghinis are busy going up and down,
Yeah.
and we never know how they got them.
Gosh, I mean, now I'm scared because I was thinking of getting a girlfriend that side in Senton, but I must compete with people that are.
With the looks.
I know you're gonna win. If I go with you,
Not even.
I'll get them. You actually are explaining this quite well. The if they move this into a series, must they do the series justice or must they do the book justice? Who needs more justice in terms of having to move from book to visuals?
I think the book.
The book.
I believe the book because if you have to take it to a series or a movie, it starts with the writing.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the foundation phase.
Yeah.
If you execute that well, I mean, the book is executed well. So
Yeah.
whoever's gonna produce a movie around Rodovan can always refer to the book. So I think the writing is because the writing goes hand in hand with the research.
Yes, it has.
So for me personally, the book, if you can execute that one well, then the rest is visuals, camera, pause,
true.
play,
Yeah.
cut.
You said you did a bit of research after reading it. You carried on with the whole idea of KREJCIR, you know, the other links he's had, where else he's appeared on the news, what other articles. What was that research like? Did you still have the same fire, the same feel, even after reading the book and done the research separately?
Yeah, no, after I think I've started following him before the book.
Oh, okay.
So after reading the book
Yeah.
now,
Pre-production, yeah?
yeah, the pre-production I
Yeah.
mentioned. So after reading the book now, I still wanted something to chew on because now I read the book,
Yeah.
but I feel that there must be more.
Yeah,
There's-
for sure.
I need a volume 2, KREJCIR volume 2, because I still felt that this was so much to take in,
Yeah.
but there's something else.
Nah,
There's
that lingering thing.
yeah,
there,
there's something else behind. There's something.
Straight talk.
Yeah.
Do you feel that way for all true crimes that you read? Have you read one that didn't need your your
Yeah,
passion.
no, there's those ones that I've read once,
Yeah.
and I was not really. I was like, okay, you did that, you got the T-shirt, that's fine. But
Which one
no,
is this? No,
um,
which one is it that it really didn't tickle you as much as you would have liked?
when I read Agliotti, the story about Glenn Agliotti,
Yeah.
maybe because he was also a big figure,
Mm.
I think maybe the book was not well packaged for my
Okay.
liking.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think it was my type of reading.
Yeah.
I completed the book because Brett Cable, Glenn Agliotti,
Mm.
Rodolphe Krecher,
Yeah.
they are linked. All of
Yes,
this,
they all know each other,
yeah, all of
all in the
these
same
figures
circle.
are linked. So I needed to get the story. That's why I first read Brett Cable.
Okay.
Then I read Glenn Agliotti. Then
Yes.
I read
How's the
Rodolphe.
Glenn Kebo one?
Yeah, then they moved.
Yeah.
But honestly, out of the three, the Glenn Agliotti book didn't really
You don't think?
entice me that much.
Okay.
But Brett Cable was also an amazing read.
Really?
It was,
I should start taking this genre serious. True
nah,
crime.
Brett
I really
Cable
should.
was one of the. I remember seeing a billboard in Sentin Rivonia Road
Yeah.
back in 2010. Yeah, I was doing my second year. There was a after he passed on, there was a big billboard written with his picture, obviously written "Legends don't die; they live forever in our hearts."
Yeah.
Something like, I mean, a whole billboard
My
around this
goodness.
guy on Rivonia Road, one of the busiest roads in
Busiest.
Sentin.
Yeah.
So that's where you could see that. Oh wow! I
If not
mean,
in the country, I think it's one
yeah,
of the biggest,
one of
busiest in the country.
a
Yeah.
whole billboard with
Yeah.
that
For
guy's
that guy.
for that guy. So that's why I saw. I think it said
I've got goosebumps.
it was,
I can't, I
to
can't
show
believe it.
how big these guys are.
Serious.
Yeah,
It's a good genre, you
no,
reckon.
definitely. It's. I doubt I'd ever, if they keep on producing someone writing. I'm enjoying the type of style.
The style, nah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's especially when you can refer to a few pictures. There's a few pictures in the
In the
book.
beginning, yeah.
Yeah, that you see
Yeah.
when you see Rodman Crutch and Bedford View,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh wow, so this is the guy.
Do the pictures, are there any pictures where he's smiling? Do you think his smiles can be disarming? You think he's this guy, but when you see him smile, like, oh man, this is a nice guy.
Nah, the guy, even when he has a grin, there's a picture.
Yeah.
Actually, no, a few years back, he appeared in, I think, at the High Court,
Yeah.
and cameras were on him, and he just had this grin on his face, and you can see that this guy is
I'm
like,
gonna do so much research after this.
this guy, you don't play around. Eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, he just had this grin on his face, and you're like, this is not the type of person to mess with.
The passion for true crime, for me, I had the passion when all I had, and before streaming became too popular, all I had was DSTV, where you do investigation, ID, all those channels on DSTV. I used to like watching them because you watch them knowing that this is not acting. When I'm done watching this show, whoever was dealt with or killed or something and something happened to them is a real person. Because with movies and with you bringing in a different actor, there's always a part of you that distance yourself because, like, at the end, I know this person goes home, makes millions, and
Yeah.
he's most probably not like this. And then I decided, no, let me try reading it. And when I read it, I got into it fairly enough, but the way you explain it is so nice, bro. I think I should really do it. Thanks for doing that justice, man.
Nah, thanks. Thanks.
Did you also start somewhere with true crimes, or was it you went straight to the books? You were not influenced by
I think there's
by
been some sort.
movies and series.
I think documentaries.
Oh,
on
okay.
The most part, yeah, because I watch a lot of Trafficked. I'm not sure if you know it.
Yes, I do. The Australian one. They go to.
Yeah, they move around everywhere.
Okay. But I do know
Yeah,
some show like that.
I
Yes.
watch that because it covers a lot.
Okay.
It covers a lot. I enjoy how the host, she's a journalist from Portugal.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she's Portuguese. She's
pretty. No, I'm
yeah,
joking.
she goes in,
Yeah.
like she goes in and speaks to
Really.
really like.
I must actually go back and do. This is going to be part of my research now.
Yeah,
I'm going to go back and watch that.
No, please do. I mean, Trafficked is, and the way they tell the story as
Okay.
well. I mean,
It also packs a punch.
Yeah, it packs a punch. So I think it started there. I've always been curious about. I've always enjoyed documentaries and something that's relatable.
Yeah,
I'm not really into things that I feel personally are too far away from me.
yeah,
So yeah, I think that's where it started. Then developed a love for reading.
yeah.
Then took it from there. I mean, we've never stopped.
Nah,
Yeah,
the reading aspect is more fun, right? For
yeah.
you find that to be more fun. Is true crime something you'd go give to a child to read?
I think you need to be um, very mature
Oh,
to consume certain information,
okay.
simply because it's like music. I
Yes,
mean,
yes.
if you are not solid mentally,
Mm.
you can easily get influenced. You remember growing up and you watched a movie about maybe the Karate Kid.
Yeah.
Then after the movie,
You go back.
you
Yeah.
think you are some Karate Kid
Yeah.
because you are young. So what you just
Yes.
consumed now, I mean, you look at was it Pokemon, that one with
Oh
Goku?
gosh. Pokemon with Ash,
No,
Pikachu.
Dragon Balls.
Oh yeah, Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah,
Yeah.
after watching that, you thinking, like I'm Goku, Vegeta,
Yeah.
because now I think mentally we are still growing up.
Yes.
But now books like this, I think you need to really be, because if you are not solid, you
Mm.
can easily be influenced and say, "Oh, this is the route I'm taking."
Sure. I don't know. I suffer from one of these I get more influenced by the books than anything. So I read this one book, I forgot the name of. It's called Avalanche, and there's one of the main characters. He was well designed that I think during my time of reading the book, because I'm not a fast reader, so and I wasn't in a rush for that one. I read that book over a month, but I tried so hard to be that character too much. And I'm not afraid of myself being like that, but I'm afraid that if I know that some of these skills that you learn in the true crimes can be used in a diabolical good way. I don't want to do that. I don't want to just make networking so that I suck you dry. I want to make networking for what it's worth,
Yeah.
to be good. Is that part of being mature for consuming true crime?
Yeah, how you take it in, for me personally, how you take it in, as long as it works for you personally,
No.
it must resonate with you.
Mm.
I mean, I recall after reading the Hustler's Bible,
Yes.
I didn't really connect with Katie McKenzie's story.
Uh-huh.
However, I wanted to um, duplicate how certain things that you are saying
Oh yes.
from the book.
Yes.
So I didn't want my story to say, okay, Lethabo went to jail, now he's a successful businessman. No,
Oh,
I
yes.
don't resonate with that.
It doesn't make sense that
Yeah.
way. Yeah.
However, I took it in a sense of um how when he got out.
Yeah.
I like you. I think you must be very selective on
Yes.
what you take.
Yes.
That's why with crime books, you must be selective to say that I'll take the networking aspect.
Yeah.
I'll take how I spend my money
Mm.
because this guy was good at saving. All of this thing. I mean, reading The Alchemist. I'm not sure if you've read The
I've read
Alchemist.
The Alchemist. Yes.
You take so much from the book,
Yeah.
but some of those things, as you take it from the book, they
Yeah.
don't seem as if they are practical,
Yes.
but how you select them can actually work for you.
Quite true. Did
Yeah.
you like that book? Sorry for asking. Yes.
Honestly,
Thank you.
nah. Honestly, there was a big fuss about it. Everyone was telling me, read this book, read that book.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like The Secret. I got The Secret. I was so excited to get
Me
that
too.
book.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I
Me
didn't
too.
even finish it because I don't get that book.
So sorry.
Like I promise
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
The Alchemist was a once-off read. I
Yeah.
read it, wouldn't read it again.
Yeah. Even
Um,
The Secret. You said you didn't even
no, The
finish The
Secret, I'll
Secret.
never even go back there. It's
So
part of my collection,
yeah.
but I don't know. I doubt I'd ever give myself time and say, okay, now let me sit and read
No.
this book,
No.
because it doesn't really connect with so many things from a reader's perspective, with like how I'm wired. It
Yes.
doesn't.
It
The
didn't make
numbers
sense.
don't add up.
Nah.
Yeah.
So
many things don't make sense for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, reading that book.
For me, that's how I felt about The Alchemist.
Yeah,
I was like, no, my God, why are you guys doing this?
Because
And I spent a lot of money for it because I just recently got into the real culture of reading. You know, I'd actually go out. I'd like make a whole day. If you're looking for me, I'm unavailable. My phone is off because I'm going book shopping.
yeah,
And that time I went book shopping for that book specifically. I had ordered it. I made a thing to go collect it myself. And when I collected it, I sat at the mug and bean. You know, I was all bourgeois with my coffee there.
yeah, and you're muffin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
And you're not blown away.
I wasn't. Also, I wasted so much money. Hartis is far.
Yeah, and the effort as well.
Yeah.
Because I think because we are different. That's why I always say that reading is the theater of the mind.
Yes.
So we view it different in our heads.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, because when if I read a book and you read a book,
Yeah.
we won't take it in the same way.
Yeah.
So clearly the guys who've been reading The Alchemist and are blown away, they're seeing something else that we are not seeing.
We must start questioning them.
We must start questioning them. Hey, we must open a book club and actually link up with them. And they
I
need
know
to,
a few.
yeah, they need to explain to us what they got from the book.
Thanks for giving me the fire for it.
Yeah.
I don't want to bash it now. So true crimes, regardless of the one you read, is there an American one that you did like?
I'm not yet. Honestly, I haven't really. I've checked a few documentaries. Yeah. However, I've never really got into reading something true crime, American related. Yeah, no, not yet.
There's one. I don't mind borrowing it to you. It's multiple stories within one. They kept it very short. It was nice. It's European. It's just you see how terrible human beings can be.
Yeah.
Is what I took from it. Look, at the end, what I liked about the book is that the law always won. Regardless of the crime that these people did, I like that I took in that, you know what, at the end of the day, some people do get caught. KREJCIR can have all the connections. He can have the best bodyguard. He can even have a bulletproof thingy, but he's in jail now.
Yeah.
And they're dealing with that at the moment. You know, he's being moved left and right and all those kind of things. So do you also have that sense that justice always prevails?
Yeah. I think power influences justice because, I mean, so many of these guys would have been caught a long time ago.
Yeah.
So power buys you time.
Yeah, it does.
But the time will come. It's either a bullet is gonna take you down.
Yeah.
But justice is gonna somehow life. There must be a balance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we be writing more stuff like this? Because I feel like I know some situations of South Africa. You know, you gave me the big names just now from KREJCIR and his crew. Do you think there's this kind of thing happening in Nigeria, in Cameroon, I'm sure the Arab world, it's happening. Do you think those stories would be as appealing?
Yeah. I think there's a story to tell everywhere, especially with crime.
Yes.
Because Nigeria definitely has it.
Yeah.
With this oil, there's
my man, there has to be. There has to be.
Yeah. So I think I think once I've really took in the South African crime space, I'll start looking into now Sierra Leone, Nigeria,
Yes.
Egypt, because I think maybe I might not be able to relate well with it, but I think it would be something worth taking in. I mean, the blood diamonds.
Straight talk.
So many things are happening on the continent.
Yes.
But now charity starts at home.
Yes.
So I'm more relatable to what's happening now under my nose. I think once I've really got that, or maybe if I read a book that's South Africa related but connected to maybe someone in Nigeria who's being profiled, I'll research that person.
Okay.
Because it's a puzzle. It keeps on moving.
Yes.
It keeps on moving.
Yes, yes. I should actually get back into this. I must also push the genre.
Yeah, no, I think you definitely enjoy it.
Because all I did was documentaries and the shows, like I was saying.
Yeah.
And Netflix started doing the tapes thing. and that's nice. But I don't think I'll read an American story. It really doesn't entice me. Look, I'm sorry for victims, but it doesn't entice me.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, when for instance, when you hear about what's happening, human trafficking related
mm.
in Mexico, it's different when you hear about it in Soweto.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
because now when it happens in Soweto or in Alex, when you read a story or watch
yeah,
a documentary
yeah,
that unpacks how young girls were found in a
yeah. Container.
cargo container,
Yeah,
and it's in Pretoria North.
yeah.
Like you start thinking to yourself, "Or wow, actually,
No.
this is actually something that's happening, and it's happening right here." I mean, we've got sisters, we've got girlfriends, we've got wives, we've got
Daughters,
daughters. You understand? So now you
mothers.
start understanding that crime. I think with crime always seems as if it's far until it hits you.
And that's what these books help with.
Yeah, that's what this. But they
Because it
get
does
you.
hit us.
Yeah, it hits you. It hits you somehow. So that's why I always say one thing. Okay, I say a lot of things. This is one of the other things that I always say.
Thank you.
Um, I think crime will always be one step ahead.
Nah.
Meaning that, I mean, security number one. You get a house in Fourways, whatever, high walls, electric fence, dog, the best alarm system,
Mm.
all of the nice things in an estate. But now you've contributed to avoiding crime. So when crime hits you, they look at the loophole between all of those. They know the dog, they
Yes.
know the high wall,
Yeah.
they know the electric fence,
Yeah.
they know this, they know that.
Yeah.
But now you, because you are not a criminal, if
Yeah.
I may put it like that, the loophole that they see is your pattern, for instance.
Oh
That,
yeah.
oh, okay, so because this guy, we know that he has 5 Rolexes in his house and
Yeah.
he has the best security system. The best time to hit him is when he knocks off. He'll take us into the estate, into the
Yeah.
high walls, into
Yes.
that space
Himself.
with vicious dogs.
Yeah.
So now they hit you where you. That's why I say that it's so hard. Crime will always be ahead because crime questions the security aspect
Oh,
of
true
it.
story. Can that be the quote for the end? Crime. The more you want to be safe, the more you're contributing to crime coming up with the better ideas on how to deal with you.
Yeah,
That
because
sucks.
when you are a target,
Yeah.
you have a pattern. Everyone has a pattern.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a person like KREJCIR, for instance, those guys, the car that was remotely controlled and all of that,
Yeah.
it's there was research. There was so they saw a pattern.
Mm.
They understood that, okay, this is what's gonna happen. The best time to hit is this time because
Yeah.
he's leaving this place or whatever. So that's why I'm saying that crime will always be a step ahead because
Mm.
crime questions the security part. I mean, for instance, banks have been hit. I mean, guys don't go into banks now with
No
AK-47s.
more.
They hit it
Really.
online.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that's where the security. So when the bank fixes this problem,
Yeah.
someone somewhere in Kaelicha or in Umlazi starts thinking that, oh,
Why are you
okay,
choosing Umlas?
well, they start.
I was also gonna say Umlas.
Yeah, no, definitely. I
Yeah.
mean, come on.
Yeah.
So it opens room to say that they've secured this area.
Yes.
Now they've left this little piece compromised. That's where
Mm.
they hit. So when they fix this one, they hit. Like
Yeah.
it keeps on moving. Keeps
Ish.
on moving.
I'm going to now watch over my shoulder a little different now. For the book, how do they catch KREJCIR?
I think a whole lot of things. There was already so much evidence on him,
Yes.
and I think the SAPS and the Hawks also now felt pressure that it was all over the news. They did it Hollywood style, meaning that
Oh.
they wanted the world to see. But now
Mm.
we can't keep on saying, okay, Sharp, we know this guy. He's always can you catch him now?
Yeah, catch
So
him now.
they
Yes.
put so much evidence together to
Mm.
make sure that if I think it goes back to that prophet who forgot his name, who fled the country. When
Bushiri.
yeah, I think
Yeah,
Bushir.
Delight's favorite philosopher.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Um, I think when you know that heat is on you,
Yeah.
these guys are smart. I mean, for a person like KREJCIR to reach a certain status, if you're gonna pounce on him and you don't do it right, you're gonna give room for him to leave. And once he's
Bruh,
gone, these guys will
can't touch
go.
him.
You won't touch him. So I think they made sure that they put everything together. So when they pounce, they pounce. If he gets out of this murder case, they hit him with this one. If he
Yeah.
gets out of this, they hit. But something is gonna stick.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%. Thank you for that. I've got one more question, if I can just put it as plain as the filtering that you see in shows and series, movies. You don't get that in books. So does true crime really hit you when you don't expect it the most? Where you're reading and you don't have music building the anticipation for the crime that's going to happen. With the book, you just read, and then he walked, and then the car stood next to him, and when the car stood, windows were put down. Does the true crime books do that?
They do.
It doesn't warn you about this is the time I'm going to talk about the crime. It's the crime now. Read
Yeah.
it.
And you need to consume it the best way you. I think even with the author, they need to, because it becomes the theater. You like
Yes.
your mind becomes like, if you are reading something about, for instance, creature, you're now thinking to yourself, there's someone with a gun around me, because now
Ah.
you become part of. I think you get an aerial view. I remember when I was reading the book,
Yeah.
like I think I've went to Bedford View once or twice.
Yeah.
But now when reading the book, like there was a point I was thinking I'm in Bedford View. Like I could see Sentin, I could
Yeah.
see Sentin City.
Yeah.
I could, because there's a point where someone from the book got caught with gold bars in his car.
No way. Gold bars.
Gold bars. So now I'm thinking Greyston Drive, this guy in a Ferrari gets stopped, gold bars in his car. People are just, retail guys are busy walking, going to work.
Bruh.
The hawks are pouncing on someone big, and you just minding your own business with your headsets, just got off a taxi going to work,
Bruh.
and a guy just got caught with gold bars
In front of you.
in front of you.
Nah.
That's why I'm saying it's so close.
Yeah.
It's so close. Like I got a picture of Bedford View. I got
Yeah.
a picture of Sentin. Like there's actually a picture of his house. That guy had
No way.
a huge house that had 3 views. So he could see the north of Joburg, the
Yes.
south. It was massive.
Wow.
Yeah.
What kind of money did this guy have?
A lot.
My God.
A lot.
You know, I'm glad that we're able to be people that can filter out all of this, because if you're not careful, you're just gonna join this circle, and for stupid things, you'll join the circuit just for, yeah, let me move the gold bars, but where did you get that gold bar?
Yeah,
You're going to be in trouble.
you'll be in a lot of trouble. And the reality is that you might be the small fish. That's where
Exactly.
loyalty comes now.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I can't be just trusting anyone to move gold bars.
Yes.
Understand?
Mm.
So now that's where even with hitmans, you can't be trusting someone who's a blabbermouth to go pull a hit on someone. You need people who are solid, people who are gonna get paid 500K, 200K today, and their lifestyle doesn't even change. So things just continue as if nothing happened.
So the way you say you need some sort of mental strength for reading the book is the same way you need mental strength to be in that circle, because I can't imagine you're going to pay me my few $100,000. All I have to shoot is one person, and then I go home. I make sure I don't buy a new bike. I don't buy a new house. Like, can you imagine the mindset of some of these people?
Yeah.
To keep on being normal after this, like your spirit is sharp of it. Like what is your
life
issue,
goes
bro?
on. You keep it easy, you keep it laid back as if nothing happened. Because remember, you're also not trying to attract a lot of heat on you.
Yes.
Because um, when you are in certain circles, when there's heat on you, automatically there's heat on your network.
Yes.
Because sometimes you are the small fish.
Yeah.
So they know about you. They know that you are the hitman. But now I think the system also looks into it in a way that before we hit him, let's allow him to be in the process so that when we hit those ones, we can go after him. But if we hit him first, those ones will be cautious.
True.
So I think that's where the loyalty comes. That's where um the certain circles that you don't just join them. You don't just wake up one morning and say, Kai, I wanna be your friend.
Nah.
No.
Can I be your friend?
Ah.
I want to. I'm glad that I met you, and definitely can. I want to be loyal to you too. I want to stay in the circle. I mean,
The
delight on
circle of
decks.
readers.
Yeah, circle of readers.
Yeah,
Yes,
no, thanks for
don't
that.
get it wrong, guys.
Yeah, guys, don't get it wrong, please.
So, let's stay in this circle. But thank you very much for taking the time and answering this. I get to this point where we now get the real person to ask the question. Delight. Let's get that question from you, please, or that comment.
Welcome, Lethabo. It's nice to have you here. Yeah, man, this sounds like an exciting read as usual. Very exciting, very criminal. Makes me question who you are. But anyway, so what are the biggest lessons you have learned from this book? Whether it's gains or losses, ultimately from the book. You know what I mean? For instance, the punishments that come from it, or the rewards that come from it, like both sides. If you can just elaborate a bit on that. Thank you. Sure.
Yeah. Okay, with the gains, it's a soft life. I mean, if you have the right people in your circle, you'll reap the rewards and benefit. So I think it goes back to what I said about the network, about being very strategic. Obviously, in different fields. I mean, whether you are employed, self-employed, or whatever, or you are a criminal listening to the podcast, strategy is everything, and and also your network. I mean, your network will take you far. The losses, when coming to analyzing the book, live by the gun, die by the gun. I mean, you need to be very calculative on your network, because if you get into circles that you cannot maintain or you cannot um, nurture, you can easily be eliminated, because reading the book, so many people died and so many people were tortured. So you need to understand who you are. So because if you don't understand who you are, don't fall into spaces for the limelight. Get into spaces and circles that you know that you'll be able to be comfortable, to be safe. If you feel that you only live once and sleeping with one eye open is who you are, and like we said, always having one up, then do you. Yeah.
Thank you for that. Check. I rate books out of 5. How much would you rate this book out of 5? And why?
I'd give it a 4.
4.
Yeah.
That's very high.
Yeah, I'd give it a 4. Because it's a good book. I enjoyed the book and I got so much insight regarding the profile. I mean, obviously, Rodman KREJCIR being the main guy in the book, and there's also pictures as well, so you get to also munch on the pictures as you are reading the book. I think I'm giving it a 4 because a 5 would be pushing it.
5 is. I usually say 4 is pushing it.
No, 5 would be pushing it.
Serious.
I think if the author maybe does maybe a volume 2, then it's fine. She'll get the 5.
Serious.
But for now, she's getting a 4.
4.
Yeah.
So it was well written.
Yeah, it was well written, well packaged. Yeah.
The delivery was good as well.
Well executed.
No?
Not excellent, because it's not a 5.
It's not a 5. Yeah,
but it's an amazing book.
That means it's definitely something to check out then.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, we'll definitely. I'm for sure going to check this one out. Thank you for bringing out the spirit for me to try to get back into true crime. It's quite encouraging to definitely get this um, the habit of reading true crimes, because we miss out on other things that are happening in the country only because people are not reading. So once you read, the power of reading, it's really there. So definitely thank you for the rating and being open about what you covered, what you discovered, especially with the other two gangsters. Can I count Mackenzie as one of the gangsters you've read? Because he was, I mean, being in jail. He's not a gangster though, is he?
He's into politics now.
Ah,
But
no.
politicians are also politicians. Eh? I think we have a different. It depends on how you look at it.
Yeah. I think the biggest gangsters are politicians, but that's just an opinion. Um, is this a book you'd recommend? And is there another one besides this relevant KREJCIR one that you can recommend for someone to get started on?
Yeah, this is definitely a book I'd recommend if it's your style of reading.
Yeah.
Because it gets unpacked very well.
Ah.
So you get it from the even if you have never really profiled Rodovan Krecher,
Yeah.
page one you get the feel. The cover itself tells, it gives you everything.
Straight.
Yeah, so I'd actually recommend the book. And anything on now I forgot the author.
Agliota. Oh, okay. You
No,
thinking about the author? My bad.
yeah, no, and she's
The author of this book.
no, not just the author of this book. Karen Mon.
Karen
Mon.
Mon.
She's one of the best crime journalists
Yeah.
that South Africa has. So anything on her, if
Yeah.
you want to get into crime, true crime, do something Karen Mon. She unpacks it well. Just that she's not the author of this one,
Yeah.
but she's the co-author of, I think, Killing Cable.
Okay.
She's the co-author. She used to work for ENCA.
Yeah.
She's amazing. So I think I'd recommend that you read something
From her.
from Karen Mon and take it from there.
Thank you very much. If there are ladies listening to this, what are your socials?
Oh wow.
But is there anywhere we can see you where you are talking about books, where you are talking about teaching, where you are talking about reading and anything like that, that you do express vividly about the culture of reading and being in this circle? Which socials of yours can we get onto?
No, hit me up on my number one,
Yeah.
Strictly More Africa, that's my page.
Strictly More Africa.
Yeah, Strictly More Africa, that's my page. Then Kitso Lethabo Mojadibe on all socials.
All socials.
Yeah, then you can get me there.
Oh, wait. And WhatsApp number, you're not leaving that?
078 900 6414.
Oh, yeah, this is quite encouraging from you. Delight is usually the gift giver, but thank you very much for putting the time to come through. Delight is definitely going to be on that the gift part, because it's quite important. It's a good feel that we can share books, share thoughts, share our feelings on what we've read, how we can overcome certain situations. So definitely, to appreciate that the circle is now growing, we will give gifts. So thank you very much for being here.
No, thanks for having me. I had a fun time.
Thank you very much.
I really had a fun time.
Yeah. No, shout out.
It's a pleasure being here.
Awe. Thank you very much, Lethabo. And from my side,
do best.
do best, yeah. You live by the gun, you die by the gun. There's something men who live fast, dangerous lives are constantly aware of. If you are a successful criminal, money can follow in and life will be good. They are all the trappings of wealth. The woman, the prestige. But around every corner, bam, reading.